Yes, yes. Guru Niger in the cut was popping, chat. Like, yes. As you guys can see, ladies and gentlemen, today's class will be on what is glazing and why is it not okay. I'm gonna some water, feel me? Because this is my first class, feel me? I'm a little nervous. Students, Swibat, if you know, you know, will be able to understand the different forms of glazing, okay? Today I'll be teaching you guys on the different forms of glazing or dick riding, you feel me? I'm just using glazing because that's the trend word today of 2025 and this generation. But you guys will learn what dick riding is, why it's not okay, and y'all will understand the different forms of glazing. So if you're ready for class, let's get this money, y'all. What is glazing and why it's not okay? So glazing, or the term meat riding, is something that you do unconsensual. I don't even know if that's a word. Correct me if I'm wrong. But you glaze with no consent. Glazing usually are things that happen with no consent. You feel me? When somebody glazes you, they're either talking bad about you or talking good about you or talking good about the next human being. You feel me? Or bad about the next human being. But they do it unprovoked. For example, if I'm walking and I see Shy Gilgeous Alexander and I say, yo, Shy, you the best dresser of all time, that's glazing. Because of all time is a rigorous statement. You might say, yo, Shy, you could dress good. Like, you know how to dress. Like, I really like the way you dress, bro. Like, you one of my favorite fashionists or fashion designers or people you look into is a dress. But if you say you're the greatest dresser of all time, knowing that you were only on this planet for less than 30 years, and you're talking about of all time, that's glazing. You're dragging it now. You feel me? You're dragging it. Where's my pen? Sorry, my marker. Oh, it's in my pocket. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, students will be able to understand the different forms of glazing. Oh, teacher. Girl, fuck you! Stage one of glazing or one of the stages of dick riding is unnecessary dick riding. For me, UN for unnecessary. I don't want to spell the whole word out and embarrass myself. We don't have time for that. But UNDR. The UN stands for unnecessary dick riding, okay? So stage one, unnecessary dick riding. Now, what is unnecessary dick riding? Unnecessary dick riding is looking at somebody, like I said earlier, and just glazing for no reason. So what does that mean? That means, yo, if it's a random person and I don't like his shoes, I'm gonna be like, yo, bro, fuck you and fuck your shoes. I don't like him. That's random glazing. Now, another random glaze is, let's say you see somebody's mad nice in basketball. He's not even on the basketball court, and you see him outside. Yo, bro, you're my favorite player. Oh my God, I love you. Get off his dick. That nigga don't know you. He's uncomfortable. He's not even on the court. He's in uniform. He's in school uniform. He's not even on the court right now playing ball. You want his dick to go, yo, bro, I love you. That's dick riding. That's mad unnecessary. Just tell him, yo, bro, I like your game, bro. Keep doing your thing. You feel me? You don't gotta jump up and down talking about somebody love your game, bro. The fuck? The hell? Stage two, unnecessary dick riding part two is a form of dick riding that it's like a wrong place and wrong time to glaze. You heard? Unnecessary glazing. You heard? So stage two of unnecessary glazing is when hypothetically we're at a funeral, right? We're at a funeral, or we're funeral shopping. Let me say that. Hypothetically, we're funeral shopping. We're looking for a casket to buy. You feel me? Now, let's say I tell my friend, I'm with my friend funeral shopping for, let's say, one of my loved ones, and I'm like, yo, bro, I love this black casket. That he says, yo, bro, that's dark black. You are glazing. That's just day room. What do you do? Wrong place and wrong time to be glazed. We talk about a funeral, you talk about that you're gonna be dark black. Okay, Einstein, suck my dick now. Now when see, wrong place, wrong time. Fuck is you glazing me like that for? That's glazing. That's random glazing. That's super unnecessary glazing. Feel me? You gotta pick the time and place to glaze. You heard? Like there's times where it's just not okay to glaze. You feel me? Shit like that. You feel me? Like you just gotta TP, vibe out, and do things of that nature. Now it's getting fun now, chat. It's getting fun now, chat. See, at stage three, we have a dick riding that's been existing for ages now. Stage three of glazing It's the gum glazing. Now, allow me to explain what gum glazing is, okay, chat? AKA GG, gum glazing. What is gum glazing? Now, gum as in, yes, the thing you chew on, a piece of gum. Now, where does the glazing come in? Have you ever had a piece of gum or a pack of gum and you pulled it out and you took one and now you have a mirage of niggas with hot breath surround you like, yo, let me get a piece, let me get a piece, let me get a piece. That's gum glazing, AKA GGs. Because why does it take for me to take out a piece of gum for you to finally want to refreshen your breath? Now I feel like you're on my dick. Now I feel like you're glazing. That is an unnecessary form of glazing, which you need to consult with your parents about, because it doesn't take me to pull out a pack of gum for you to want to refreshen your life and refreshen your breath. Hot breath? Fuck is you talking about? Do not glaze me in that demeanor. That is disrespectful. Because I'm not the dentist. I'm not the person who's going to save your breath. You need to save yourself. That is what you call a GG, gum glazing. You know what I'm saying? Don't let me pull out a pack of gum and y'all start glazing. Okay, that's not fucking okay, right? Now I know your breath smells like shit. Now we got stage 4. See, chat, this is getting really fun now because this is something we could probably all relate to. Now at stage 4 of glazing, we have the teacher's pet glaze. Now, for the teacher's pet glaze, somebody in here was either the teacher's pet or somebody who was envious of the teacher's pet. And in my case, I was envious of the teacher's pet. You know why? Because the teacher's pet was a fucking glazer. And the teacher was glazing it too. So it took 2 glazes to make this collaboration happen. So let's call this the double glaze, you heard? Let's call this the double glaze, aka the teacher's pet glazing, you feel me? Now watch this. Why is the teacher's pet, what is the teacher's pet glazing? Now, there's the teacher and there's the teacher's pet. Now, the teacher's pet's job is to make sure that they do everything up to their teacher's, they do everything that their teacher is gonna validate them for. So the teacher's pet job is to validate the teacher as much as possible so the teacher can have a favoritism towards that student. Now, the teacher's job is to have the favoritism, which leads on hand glazing, aka the double glaze, aka teacher's pet glazing. The student was glazing the teacher so bad. You want to impress the teacher so bad. You want the teacher to come around and dick ride you too. So now you fail a little test. You got a 64 on the test. Your teacher gonna be like, no, I like this student. 65. You got a 99 on the quiz. You know, I like this student. Let me give him 100 or her 100. And guess what? The teacher's pet, aka the student, is gonna keep doing things, try to get the teacher's attention and get validation from the teacher so they could be on the good side. So basically, the type of kids that was teacher's pet were like the worst type of kids. Because in a situation where the whole class was in trouble, the teacher's pet might have the one who caused the trouble. And guess what? The teacher's gonna dick ride their teacher's pet or the student because the student can't do no wrong. The student cannot do no wrong in the teacher's eyes, which leads into glazing. You love that student so much that you can't see no wrong. Whole time, the student did the worst, but you don't see it. But everybody else in the class sees it. So, teacher's pet dick rider, aka double glaze, aka TNT. Teacher and teacher's pet, you heard? For all the teacher's pet, suck balls. Stage 5 glazing is the yes man glazing. Now this is a glaze that's been going on for generations, you guys. Yes man glazing. All right. Now, what is yes man glazing? Okay. What is yes man glazing? What is yes man glazing? What is yes man glazing? In my opinion, I feel like this is self-explanatory, but let me explain. You ever been around a nigga who doesn't know how to say no and just continues to say yes? You ever seen a nigga who just continues to say yes and yes and yes and who never argues or goes against the grain? That is what you call a yes man. And why? That's a form of glazing because in a situation where, for example, let me give you guys a big artist. Lil Baby. I feel like Lil Baby is the perfect artist for this situation. Lil Baby might have a song that is horrible, and I love Lil Baby. But that one song that he had on that album, what was it called? Chat, y'all know what it was called? It was called like, Say Twin. Yes, Say Twin. That was the song. Say Twin. Now, let me start all over. Now, stage 5 of glazing is called the yes man glazing. The yes man glazing is pretty self-explanatory. A yes man and he's glazing. A nigga who don't know how to say no or go against the grain. Now, for example, an artist by the name Little Baby. I don't know which one of his homie or which person or part of his team told him to drop Say Twin, but that song was hot dog order. And I assumed that he was around a bunch of yes men because if one nigga just said, nah, that shit is dirt, that nigga was not dropping that. And I love Little Baby. But Say Twin was not it at all, ladies and gentlemen. That shit was ass. And I assumed that he was around a bunch of yes men, which allowed him to feel good and release that song and put it on the album. That's what you call yes man glazing. We got stage 6. This is a very simple form of dick riding that's been going on since Martin Luther King was alive, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Karen, okay? We have the Karen dick riding. I'm gonna put that there. We have the Karen glaze, okay? Now, when you hear Karen, 100% positive, you think of a woman. Sorry. When you hear Karen, I'm 100% positive you think of a white woman, okay? But nowadays, for some reason, there are black Karens now. So the Karen glaze is anybody being a Karen. Male, woman, black, white, Asian. You just being a Karen. Don't be a fucking Karen, okay? Don't try to dick ride. That's just rant. Like, that's literally... Karen glaze is like unnecessary dick riding and unnecessary dick riding part 2 put together. That's what you call the Karen glaze, because you're just doing unnecessary shit. That's what Karens do. They're mad unnecessary. They just turn nothing into something for no reason. I don't know why, but that's what the Karen glazing is, okay, ladies and gentlemen? You don't want to be a fucking Karen. Being a Karen is the worst thing. I'm finna fall asleep in this class. I ain't gonna lie, if you was of age, I would have told you fall asleep on a nigga dick. Fuck is you talking about? Don't ever disrespect my class. Nasty ass handwriting, your mouth is nasty too. At stage 7, we have a form of glazing that is disgusting, and it's actually the population of this form of glazing happening. The chances of this glazing happening in 2025 is getting higher and getting higher throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? This glazing right here is a glazing that no man should be doing. It's a little bit similar to the yes man dick riding, to the yes man glazing. Now, stage 7 glazing is the collateral. Hold on. Let me make sure I spell collateral right. Stage 7 of glazing is the collateral damage glazing. Now, what is the collateral damage glazing? Now, allow me to explain. Well, let me start by explaining what collateral damage is, okay, y'all? All right. So, if there are dominoes in a row, there's 10 in a row lined up straight, and you drop the first one in the front, back, all of the dominoes are gonna drop, or most of them should drop. You know what I'm saying? That's what you call collateral damage. When something happens to one, it happens to all, or it happens to a good amount. You feel me? That's what collateral damage is. Now, what does collateral damage have to do with glazing? Now that you know what collateral damage is, I'm pretty sure you can understand and put 2 and 2 together. You know, have you ever seen one nigga dick ride, and then another nigga wanted to jump on your dick too? That's what you call double dick riding, aka collateral damage glazing. That's collateral damage glazing. That is a form of glazing that I hate, and it does happen to me often, especially with a couple niggas in my chat. Yo, it would be one person having a problem with you, another miscellaneous nigga who got nothing to do. It's basically A versus B. And L want to come out of nowhere and jump in the situation once he feel like somebody's winning. Who the fuck are you, and why are you on my dick right now? You have nothing to do with the situation, but you want to come in and hop on my dick because the other nigga glazing too? So you taking an opportunity to glaze because another nigga do it. You are a dick rider. You are a dick rider, you are a glazer, and you have no self-respect. That is what you call collateral damage glazing or collateral dick riding damage, okay, ladies and gentlemen? I hope that you guys understand that one, because that's a big one. That's a big one that happens a lot in this generation and nowadays, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? Now at number 8, we have cyber dick riding, okay? What is cyber glazing? Now, if you guys ever heard the term cyberbullying is bullying, but it happens online. So cyber glazing is online glazing, you know what I'm saying? And in this generation where technology and social media is getting more power and more popular, a lot of cyber glazing happens. I done seen a nigga comment on my post, this nigga ugly as fuck. Mind you, the video is talking about the economical state of the world right now, and nigga talk about you ugly. That's glazing, gang. That's mad. That's literally stage 1, unnecessary glazing part 1, unnecessary glazing part 2, unnecessary stage 6, carry glaze, and collateral damage glazing. Let me tell you why it's literally those 4 in 1. Because once one nigga gets a laugh, everybody else wanna get a laugh, chat. Have you ever seen the comments? One nigga make a joke, now there's a bunch of jokes in the comments. One nigga make a joke in the comments, now there's a bunch of jokes. That's what you call cyber glazing. And stage 1, unnecessary glazing, unnecessary glazing part 2, carrying glaze, and collateral damage glazing all goes into this one part, which is called cyber. Oh, I put a G. I'm sorry. Which is called cyber glazing. That's what you call cyber glazing. That's what you call cyber glazing. Online glazing, you heard? Online glazing. Niggas is glazing online because they can hide behind it, you feel me? And it happens a lot nowadays. And all this glazing, a lot of glazing causes people to really, feel me? If you get too caught up in the comments, this glazing can make you do something harmful to yourself or somebody else. Or crash out on the internet or do certain things that you may not have wanted to do, you feel me? Stage 9 glazing. This is a form of glazing that happens a lot in this day, okay? We have the artist, okay? The artist glazing, as in people who make music. We have the artist glazing, okay? Now this glazing right here, this happens a lot, you know what I'm saying? Now what is the artist glazing? I'm pretty sure this is self-explanatory, but this is when you dig right in an artist that you like, you know what I'm saying? For example, Lil Durk, all right? Shout out to Lil Durk. I am a fan of Lil Durk's music, so shout out to Lil Durk. But I don't know if this is influence or dick riding. I'm actually, as the teacher of teaching about glaze, I'm actually confused on whether he has so much influence or whether niggas are just glazing him. Because I've never seen somebody make thousands of people want to change their religion. Ladies and gentlemen, Lil Durk, free Lil Durk, turned Muslim, y'all. He turned Muslim, and he made a song about, morning time, I get on my knees and pray to Allah. Alhamdulillah, I'm Muslim too. He made a song about being Muslim. A storm of niggas turned Muslim after that. A storm of niggas turned Muslim after Lil Durk dropped music. And then he just recently dropped an album with 2 songs that's related to Islam, if I'm not mistaken. You feel me? Storm of niggas just turned Muslim over that too. Lil Durk announced he was Muslim, a whole bunch of niggas turned Muslim. Now, let me tell you why that's so crazy though. Let me tell you why the dilemma in my brain is confusing, because influence and glazing is 2 different things. If you can influence somebody to change religion, chat, mind you, most people are like a certain religion from birth. So 9 times out of 10, the people who turn Muslim were probably Christian from birth. If it took you one Lil Durk song for you to say, no, I want to be Muslim, you are glazing your artist. You are glazing, which is called artist glazing, which is a form of glazing that is disgusting, despicable, undeniably nasty. You niggas are dirty. That's dick riding. Now, if it's influence, let the influence. Now, I'm Muslim myself, so I wouldn't be mad that he's for me, he's turning people, like his influence is turning people Muslim. But it's like, I don't feel like it's 100% influence. I just feel like people are glazing and they feel like it's cool, so they're doing it. Because influence, if one song can make you change your whole religion, you might be God yourself. Yo, gang, if Lil Durk could make a song and turn 100,000 people Muslim, he might be God. He might be God himself, gang. Because that's a crazy level of influence. You've been believing in one thing your whole life, and Lil Durk dropped a 3-minute song, and now you're Muslim. It took you 3 minutes to change your religion? Holy, astaghfirullah, you're glazing. That's what you call artist glazing. Stage 9. All right, ladies and gentlemen? Stop glazing your artist. Oh, now, when is artist dick riding okay? Sorry. When is artist glazing okay? Before we get to stage 10. Now, I feel like there's only a handful of artists where glazing is okay, but I can only name one off the top. I feel like if you are a Nicki Minaj fan, it is okay to glaze Nicki. then Nicki, aka the Queen Mafia or whatever y'all call them, the Barbs, yes, the Barbs are strong. They will do anything to defend Nicki. And Nicki been around for years now, probably like 20 plus, you heard? Or 20 on a dot, but she been around for years now. So glazing Nicki Minaj, that is very understandable. She been in the game for a minute, applying that pressure, you heard? She's a 20-year veteran in this. So that's a long level of attachment. People were born 5 years old, now they 20 or 21 or 22 or 30 listening to, feel me? Nicki. So I understand if y'all feel that attachment, y'all glazing Nicki, because Nicki been in the game for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? That's when artist glazing is acceptable, you know what I'm saying? And other artists, I feel like I don't know. But it all comes to with the facts on this situation, you heard? Now, we have one more stage of dick riding, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know if y'all learned something new. I know y'all learned something new today. Stage 10 of glazing is called celebrity glazing. Now, allow me to explain what celebrity glazing is. Now, the one difference between artist and celebrity is that artists are in a genre of music and celebrity is all around. So the celebrity could be a basketball player, a football player, a musician, an artist, as in a person who draws pictures and things of that nature, an actor, feel me? It could be a famous police officer, or it could be a YouTuber, you feel me? A big YouTuber, a big streamer. Celebrity glazing, you feel me? Now, what is celebrity glazing? And what's the difference between celebrity and artist? Like I just said, artist goes down to one, you feel me? Now, what is celebrity glazing? Let me give you an example. It's basically the same thing when you dick riding niggas who got that name, niggas who got that status. You're glazing people who got that status. You feel me? For example, if you see Miley Cyrus is fake a legend. That might be acceptable glaze. If you see, what's a lit artist? I'm not gonna lie, I don't have an artist to give you guys, but just think of an artist that's like lit, a celebrity, but it's not worth glazing that celebrity unless you're really a fan. Now, notice how I said it's not worth glazing the celebrity. So when is it worth glazing the celebrity? Now, stage 10, we have celebrity dick glazing. Now, celebrity glazing is unacceptable, but there are instances where you can glaze a celebrity. There is one celebrity for sure that no matter how much times you glaze him, it will not be read as glazing. It will be read as praising and giving respect and giving flowers. That celebrity is LeBron James. Now, allow me to explain. You know what I'm saying? LeBron James has been in the NBA since like 1835, okay, ladies and gentlemen? And he been doing the same thing he been doing since he was a rookie, if not better. Killing niggas on that court. And he's literally 65 years old. He might be older than Chief Keef. If you know, you fucking know. You know what I'm saying? Like, LeBron just been killing for years now. That is a celebrity where celebrity glazing does not count. It's not glazing. That's honoring. Now, I'm not a LeBron glazer, you heard, but if you ever heard of a man named Ty Lil or Cash Nasty, you know, I don't want to call them dick riders, but you know, them niggas go above and beyond for LeBron, you feel me? So that might be a form of glazing, celebrity glazing, but we gotta let them rock because it's LeBron James, you know what I'm saying? Now, another one I said, Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is a fucking GOAT. That's acceptable glaze. Nicki Minaj is a GOAT, y'all. You can glaze Nicki. Another celebrity I feel like you could glaze, not really for black people, because black people this is not a fan favorite for black people, but Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is another legend. You can glaze Taylor Swift, you heard? You can glaze Taylor Swift as much as you want. Another celebrity you could glaze, Jay-Z and Beyonce. Them niggas are legends, you know what I'm saying? Now let me give you guys like an actor. What's an actor? Oh, an actor that you could glaze with celebrity glazing is 100% invalidated is Denzel Washington. You can glaze the fuck out of Denzel, gang. You can glaze that nigga, gang. I ain't gonna lie. If like glazing Denzel Washington is not glazing, that nigga's a legend. He really been in the game for years now, you heard? For years now. You can glaze Denzel, you heard? I ain't gonna lie. You could glaze him. Feel me? You could glaze Denzel, bro. I'm gonna come clean. Feel me? All right. This Denzel is 70. Denzel Washington is 70, chat. He is 70 years old. He is 70 years old, y'all. Denzel is 7. Oh, sorry, I don't see the age. He's 70, gang. You can glaze him, bro. This is Unk times 7. He been acting for years, bro. 70, killing it in the game, bro. You can glaze him, bro. Right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, Tobey Maguire, yeah, Tobey Maguire. Oh yes. I was actually thinking of that. I forgot to say it. Tobey Maguire is the original Spider-Man. Peter Parker. Tobey Maguire is Peter Parker, the original Peter Parker. Okay, you can glaze him. Stage 10 of glazing is celebrity glazing. That is a celebrity that invalidates this whole category of celebrity glazing. You can glaze that nigga. If you're glazing Tobey Maguire, it's not glazing, it's showing respect. Because Tobey Maguire is a legend. That's the original Peter Parker, you heard? That's the original Peter Parker, you guys. How to avoid glazing. How to avoid glazing. So I'm gonna point out a couple forms of glazing that we can avoid. All right. So at number 1, we can avoid the unnecessary glazing. We can avoid the gum glazing. We can avoid the yes man glazing. We can avoid the celebrity glazing, the cyber glazing, and the collateral damage glazing. Okay. Now, how can we avoid unnecessary glazing? We can avoid unnecessary glazing. And when I say how can we avoid it, I don't mean how can we keep ourselves away from it. I mean, how can somebody not glaze no more? You know what I'm saying? Because some people glaze and they're not aware that they're actually glazers. So how can someone not be an unnecessary glazer? When you're not spoken to, don't speak. That is honestly the best way to not unnecessarily glaze. You feel me? Don't try to be a smart mouth all the time. Don't try to point out the obvious a lot of the time. Just be copacetic, be chill. Don't always feel like you gotta say something. Because when you feel like you gotta say something, it comes off as glazing. Okay? And glazing is not okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen? Now, gum glazing. Gum glazing, there's 2 ways to avoid this. You can be the person with the gum or the person who wants the gum. Now, if you have the gum, don't pull the fucking gum out, okay? You know how they gonna come reaching like fucking animals if you, feel me, pull out the gum. But as a person who wants gum and whose breath smell like shit, so when you see somebody back out the pack of Winter Fresh, you want to go put your hand out and beg for a piece of gum. How do you avoid gum glazing? What you need to do is be chill. I'm not saying don't ask, but don't ask now. Don't ask as soon as you do it. Because it's like you had a gum detector. That's how it feels. Like you had a gum detector or you was watching a nigga to see if he's pulling out gum. So wait 5 minutes. Feel me? Yo, I seen you had gum. Or you see him chewing the gum. He pulled out the gum because he about to chew it. So when you see a nigga chewing, yo, bro, I see you chewing gum. You got a piece of gum. I ain't gonna lie. I need that. You feel me? And boom, you're not a gum glazer no more. Now we got the yes man glazing. How do you avoid yes man glazing? Now, there's 2 ways to avoid this. You can be the yes man or you can be the nigga around the yes man. Now, you either eliminate yourself from the yes mans and get the fuck out that scenery because nobody wants to be around yes man. And if you want to be around yes man, you want to feel like God, and you're not God. You're a bitch. Eat a dick, boy. And how do you not become a yes man glazing? Always try to point out the wrong. I'd rather be a nigga who always want to see somebody wrong than always want to validate another nigga opinion or feelings, okay? I'd rather be a nigga who's going to argue before I agree. I'd rather disagree than agree, you know what I'm saying? So, always think and figure out how is this nigga wrong or how is this girl wrong. And just don't always just automatically jump on a nigga dick because you think what he's saying is godlike content and it's not. You just own the nigga dick. Okay? Now, how to avoid collateral damage glazing. This one right here is very important, okay, ladies and gentlemen? Collateral damage glazing, all right? Why is this very important? Because this form of glazing, collateral damage glazing, is a glazing that could really destroy the world, okay? And it's slowly doing it, but surely doing it, okay, y'all? The thing about collateral damage glazing, it's very random, and you don't know who's going to do it and how it's going to happen. So you, as the person who's getting dick rolled or getting glazed, you cannot necessarily put yourself out the situation because it's hard to detect a glazer unless they speak. You don't know who's a glazer unless they speak or make actions. You feel me? Now, as far as the niggas who glaze, if you are seeing 2 niggas argue, if you're seeing A and B argue, right, and B makes a funny ass joke against A, To not be a collateral damage glazer is to not say a damn thing. Don't try to jump on a nigga dick because the B made a joke about A and B is mad funny. So you want to laugh mad loud too. A key, get off the nigga dick. Mad loud, you heard? Like, get off his dick. You feel me? That's dick riding. Because you wasn't laughing 5 seconds ago until B made the joke about A. Now you want A dick and you want to add your own jokes. Now you want to joke too, you heard? So that's very unnecessary, you feel me? Cyber glazing, self-explanatory, gang. If you see a nigga joking in the comments, don't try to be Kevin Hart, gang. Fuck. And celebrity glazing, when you see your favorite celebrity, keep it P. Feel me? Unless it's like, who's my favorite celebrity? Who's my favorite celebrity woman? Like, if I see Marsai Martin, I'm on her body, I'm on her dick. I don't care about none of that, you heard? Man, I just took a nap. I don't want to take another one. Man, you on my dick, and I'm praying that you get off. What if the joke is generally funny? Yo, you can laugh. You can laugh. Chat. There's a difference between laughing at a joke and laughing at a joke. Have you ever seen somebody fake laugh just because they want to laugh at you? The joke don't even gotta be funny. A nigga would say, boy, you look like a snail. A nigga start that's dick riding. But then if you laugh at nah, this nigga got me weak. That's regular. Feel me, boy? What the extraordinary laughing? Let's not do that, bro. That's glazing, you heard? That's glazing. I ran out of fucking chips, y'all. I'm hungry as fuck. Why is glazing wrong? Because people don't understand the traumatic feelings that they've put people through by glazing, okay, ladies and gentlemen? Glazing is wrong, okay? And allow me to explain why glazing is wrong. Now, glazing can put people in a couple of positions. It can put you through depression, or it can put you through a temporary hiatus with your life of confusion. Because when one person glazes and everybody else glazes you, it makes you rethink yourself. Why is this form of glazing happening to me? Why is everybody on my dick, okay? Why does everybody, out of all the dicks in this generation and in this world and in this lifetime, why is my dick the one chosen to be assaulted? It puts people through confusion because it makes people feel like they're an outcast and there's something wrong with them, because if there's a million dicks, why is mine the one y'all want to be on? Why am I the person that you're glazing? It can put people through mental warfare with themselves, and it can put people through depression. Now, how does it put people in depression? When you glaze another nigga, when you randomly glaze another nigga, like randomly glaze another nigga, you know people think about that, right? And I'm a perfect example. You know, there's been a situation where I was outside, and a nigga just glazed me for no reason. He done said something negative about me for no reason. Yo, this nigga jobbed. Yo, this nigga wear that same Nike Tech. That's random glazing, bro. That have nothing to do with you. But you on my dick. So I may or may not go home and think about how a nigga sucked my dick on my way home today. I'm peacefully going home, but a nigga wanted to give me head instead on the block. I'm from the projects. So a nigga gave me head around the projects. You was a dirty ass glazing nigga. You don't even do it in a nice neighborhood. You just dick roll me in the hood. Like, what are you doing? You feel me? Your chips though, get off my dick. Right? But yes, that's glazing, and it makes niggas think about that shit, and it makes me question, like, it can make me question, yo, what's wrong with me? Or like, why did nigga feel like he could do this to me today? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It puts niggas through traumatic experiences, gang. Do you understand how it feels to be dick rolled with no consent? A nigga to glaze you with no consent. Do you know how that feels? Does anybody in this chat know how it feels for a nigga to glaze you with no consent at all? Like, random, the most random level of glaze possible? That shit don't feel good, gang. And it don't even be from your homies. It could be from your homies, but it be random niggas too glazing. How can you be so random and glazing, bro? That's fucked up. So yes, why is glazing wrong? I forgot to write wrong. Because it puts niggas in places and it puts niggas in places sorry. It puts niggas in places mentally that it's hard to get out of. And when you're in those places, if you get too deep, it could cause you to do certain things to yourself, aka self-harm in GTA. Or it can make you very insecure about yourself, okay? So glazing is not okay. You should not glaze anybody. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I have 4 niggas in this chat who are simultaneously, consecutively on my dick. And I'm strong enough to not let that get to my head because I know they're the ones really fucked up in life. Because the fact that you could glaze me for an hour straight, simultaneously and consecutively, that means that you've been through some motherfucking shit. You done did some shit in his life that you could glaze me for that long. So I really read between. I don't read between. I see through the glaze. I see who people really are. I see what they really go through. You're the ones who genuinely need help, and that's why I'm here today. You know what I'm saying? I'm no longer the victim. You are, okay, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we know that glazing is wrong. We know the 10 stages of dick riding. We know how to avoid glazing. Now, the one thing I didn't talk about was how is dick riding gonna affect our world? How is glazing gonna affect the economy? Why is your handwriting wrong? If you look at my handwriting without my dick in your mouth, it'll probably be better. Get out! I killed you, nigga! Get off my dick! How can glazing affect the economy / the world? All right. So, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. How can glazing affect the world? Now, it's very funny because I've been telling you guys why glazing is bad and what's wrong with glazing and why you shouldn't glaze. But I'm gonna be honest. If there's no glazers in this world, there's no balance. We cannot have a perfect world, ladies and gentlemen. There has to be glazers and there has to be non-glazers. Without the glazers, this world isn't equal. So, how can glazers affect the economy or the world? Glazers do bring peace and glazers do bring balance. Now, we're in an economy where glazing is getting a little bit popular, a little bit too fast. And people are actually cool with glazing. And people are willing to call themselves a glazer. And if there are too many glazers in this world, the glazers are going to overtake the non-glazers. And what happens when the glazers overtake the non-glazers? There's going to be a perfect world. But there's going to be a perfect world for niggas who like to dick ride. That means dick riding will be normalized in generations and generations and generations and generations and generations. It would be a wicked domino effect if glazing gets normalized and the glazers overtake the non-glazers. Now, if the non-glazers overtake the glazers, this world will be perfect, but on the non-glazer side. This world will be a world where nobody really shows love. Nobody really gives flowers. Nobody really goes against the grain. And women love to argue, and deep down, everybody loves to argue. Because everybody agreeing with each other is not fun. It's boring. So when A goes against B and D jumps in and dick ride A, it's fun. Sometimes, depending on the time and place. But it is fun. Because now you gotta go 1v2. But if it was 1v1 your whole life, it's like simple. You would never get that rush like, I'm taking out 2 niggas with 1 stone. You know what I'm saying? You never feel that sense of accomplishment like you really did something. You're gonna be on this simple stale for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? And without glazers, we can't do that. So deep down, and honestly, we do need glazers in this world, and we do need non-glazers. But it has to be a balance. It can't be. If the glazers take over the world, this world is fucked. You're gonna see niggas giving each other head on the block, straight neck, and it's gonna be normalized. Niggas personalities is gonna be glazing. You heard? And that's horrible. So we can't let that happen. But we need glazers, believe it or not, because there will be no balance, all right, ladies and gentlemen? For me? Now, class is officially over. I know this was a long class. I hated going to class for more than 30 minutes unless it was gym because I was always playing basketball. But today you guys learned about what is glazing and why is it not okay. And you learn the ups and downs behind it, learn how to protect yourself from it, and you learn how to teach someone to avoid it. Now, I'm gonna be quizzing you guys. You will not leave my class. You will not leave my class without me confirming that this information was taken in that brain of yours. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? So no, class is not over. Class is not over. Okay? Stop bringing back. Oh, why niggas talking like that? Who used what I call? Oh my God. W1 hour, y'all. Thank you, Deja. Now watch this. I will be asking you guys some questions because I need to ensure that I taught properly and I taught my class right, okay? Hold on, I got a text. Yo, bro, I'm about to just... All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a multiple choice. This is a multiple choice question, all right? Sorry. Multiple choice and I put up a number. You're so stupid, sir. Guru Naija. A, B, C, and D. All right. A, celebrity glazing, all right? Celebrity glazing. B, Karen glazing and or dick riding. C, teacher's pet glazing. And D, what do I want to put? Cyber glazing. All right. Now, oh, that's not gonna look right. Quiz. Let me just put quiz on top. Let me put quiz on top for you guys so it makes sense. All right. Quiz about glazing. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we now have a multiple choice test real quick. This is the first question. Now, which form of glazing is the following? Celebrity glazing, Karen glazing, teacher's pet glazing, or cyber glazing? Now, I'm going to say the form, I'm going to say the definition, and you guys will pick the answer, okay? Right. This form of glazing is when somebody randomly, unnecessarily, for no apparent reason, turning nothing into something, glazes you out of nowhere and just wants to be a menace to the world and just dick ride random people for no reason. Which form of glazing is what I just mentioned? Is it cyber glazing, teacher's pet glazing, Karen glazing, or celebrity glazing? Let me see which one you guys chose. Let me see which one I got, man. Let me see which one I got. I should have made it larger. Do I have to take this? Oh yeah, I'm too deep. Y'all are idiots. Niggas say he just be order stage of glazing. Colgate glazing. B. Okay, somebody said B. Do we have anybody who's objectifying that answer? Can you repeat it? All right. This form of glazing is when somebody randomly, unnecessarily just wants to be a nuisance to around the people around people and to the population, and just wants to bother people unnecessarily and just be random weird and do random dick riding and glazing. Which one of the following is that? I did enough work for the day. I'm not taking this. Well, then you failed the class. The hell you think this is? You're not getting no participation points for that. B, B, B. You guys said Karen glazing, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. That answer is correct. Yes. We got 2 more questions, y'all. 2 more questions. 2 more questions. All right. 2 more questions. Okay. Great job. I really appreciate that you guys got that right. It really makes me feel like I'm doing my job. All right. All right. So now we got yes man glazing. Sorry. Teacher's pet glazing. Artist glazing. And gum glazing, aka GG. Right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, this form of glazing takes 2 people for this, all right? One person must praise and look for validation, and the other person must accept the validation and gives favoritism to the next person, okay? Which form of glazing is this? The yes man glazing, the teacher's pet glazing, the artist glazing, and the gum glazing. I'll repeat it one more time. This form of glazing needs 2 people for it to happen. One person has to fiend for validation, and the other person has to accept the validation and become and show favoritism towards a person given begging for validation. Which one do you guys think it is? A. All right. Now I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was a trick question. I'm gonna be honest. Many of you got this wrong. The answer is not A. Now, let me reword what I said. Let me explain to you guys what I said earlier. Yes man glazing is when one person can't see no wrong. They give validation. They continue to give this person validation. They never go against the grain. Do you guys remember me saying they never go against the grain? The teacher's pet, the student looks for validation, and the teacher accepts the validation, giving favoritism towards the student. So if the student would get a 99 on that quiz, the teacher showing favoritism because that's the teacher's pet would probably up them to 100. Or if they failed the test with a 64, they'll probably give them a 65. The answer is B, y'all. But that was a trick question. But I had to give you guys a trick question in order to learn. In order to learn the key differences between these levels of glazing. Now, I got 2 more questions again. Two more. Why is it B again? It's B again because in order... All right, let me write it down to explain. Teacher's pet. Glazing. The answer was B because it takes 2 for the teacher's pet glazing to happen. There needs to be a student and there needs to be a teacher. Like I told you guys earlier, I never mentioned that there needs to be... there needs to be 2 people for the yes man glazing, but I never specify that there needs to be 2 people for this. But I did say for the teacher's pet, it takes a student and a teacher. You feel me? So the teacher's pet glazing, the student looks for the validation from the teacher, and the teacher accepts the validation, which shows, and then the teacher proceeds to show favoritism towards the student, okay? That's why the answer was B and not A, all right? Now, you guys should get this one right, though. Oh, gum glazing, GG. Messed that up. All right. Cyber glazing. All right. This form of glazing, sorry. This form of glazing, this form of glazing is when you pull out something because you're in need of it, and there's a crowd of people begging for what you got, and they never intended to have what you pulled out until you pulled it out. Pause. That might sound like some gay shit, but which one is it, y'all? A, B, C, or D? Yes man glazing, cyber glazing, artist glazing, or gum glazing? D. What you need? D. I need the question repeated once more. I got you. This form of glazing, one person brings out a product or whatever you want to call it, but they bring out something and everybody around them sees that they brought it out and now they want a piece of what they got. Is it yes man glazing, cyber glazing, artist glazing, or gum glazing? The fact that D, the fact that there's two niggas in the chat who been glazing the whole time, and y'all getting these answers right is funny. Yes, the correct answer was gum glazing, ladies and gentlemen. I like that y'all know that answer. Now we have one more. We have one more question for you guys, all right? I have one more question for you guys, okay? And then you guys are free to leave. Collateral damage glazing. Unnecessary glazing. And celebrity glazing. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this form of glazing causes a domino effect. This form of glazing, when one person glazes, it allows the rest of the people to glaze. It allows anybody who is in the facility of the glaze to have a domino effect with everybody. So when one person glazes, the next person glazes, and then the next person glazes, and the next person glazes, and when the next person glazes, the next person glazes. Which form of glazing is this? We have A, the yes man glazing, B, celebrity glazing, C, collateral damage glazing, or D, unnecessary glazing. Which one is it, chat? A, B, C, or D? Which one are we doing? I'm gonna say it one more time. This form of glazing causes a domino effect. This form of glazing causes a domino effect, all right, you guys? This form of glazing causes a domino effect. So it allows, when one glaze happens, the glazing sequence just keeps happening until it stops and until everybody in the facility is done glazing. We got, it's either C or D, C, D, C, C. This question is not a trick question. I can agree that the last question was a trick question, the last two questions, because yes man glazing and the teacher's pet glazing does take two people. Yes man, but if you paid attention to the words I mentioned, I used specific words earlier in the lesson. So when I said it on the quiz, y'all will get the gist. On the quiz, I mentioned nominal effect when I was talking about collateral damage glazing. So yes, for the people who chose collateral damage glazing, you are correct. Congratulations, you guys. You guys did a great job today. Even the niggas who are glazing in my chat, y'all did an amazing job today. Clap for y'all niggas. Clap for y'all niggas. Class is over. You guys are free to leave. You guys did an amazing job, okay? I won't lie to you. You guys did an amazing job. And I'm glad that I was able and I was honored to give you guys this lesson today, okay? Congratulations. A 1 hour class, I know, but we're college kids now, man. Classes ain't 30 minutes no more. It's not 45 minutes no more. Classes are an hour, okay?